Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. It is your host, Jaquel. And once again, we are here with the WOW Podcast, where we are focused on your health, body, mind, and spirit through your journey of grieving. We want to ensure that you are doing a healthy lifestyle. I am so excited. I'm so excited on today. I have my big brother from another mother. I promise y'all, we have long years of history. My grade is just hiding. His is probably hiding too. But I just want to introduce him because I believe in giving people honor where it is due. This man of God is a certified life coach. He is a certified substance abuse counselor. He is a certified John C. Maxwell uh, that deals with the 15 invaluable laws of growth. He's an author. Definitely want to talk about that today. He's also a singer, songwriter, musician. He is Stellar Award nominee.
Come on.
Okay. He is a loving husband to Kim. Shout out to Kim,
Woo-hoo.
Kimberly Lock. He's an amazing dad to his 5 children. He loves people. That's just where his heart is. And he lives life on purpose. I always hear him say that motto: I live life on purpose. He organized a bereavement focus group at his ministry, and other community outreach ministries that he's going to talk about today. And with the slogan and the motto, obey God, he'll bless you real good. Please welcome with me our senior pastor, Pastor Marlon Lock.
Hit that clap button.
Boom.
Y'all know how to do it. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now I call you Tony or Pastor T.
Yes.
So if I say that, is that all right?
That's absolutely
Because I know you gonna call me Kelly, and that's
Yes.
fine too. That's my nickname. So people don't know your story. First of all, it is an honor to have you here, and it's an honor because we hear so much about pastors in a negative standpoint, right?
Mhm.
And I've always been a firm believer of Jesus and therapy, bringing that together in the forefront so that we're able to understand, yes, God is a healer, but then there's some other things you need to do to
Absolutely.
ensure that you're getting that healing.
Yeah.
Because I love how you say, and I'll let you, because I don't want to mess it up, about the praying and people go home and then what are we doing after that. But I want people to just know and understand the life of a pastor, and that you guys are not exempt from going through things.
Absolutely.
So if you can first just kind of give us a synopsis. I got questions, but I always believe in following and being led.
Absolutely.
But I want you to kind of talk to us about who is Marlon Lock, outside of when you take your pastor hat off, when you take your father hat off, when you take the husband hat off, because you're still human.
Yeah.
How did you become this awesome man of God in spite of all the grief that you faced?
Well, first off, Kelly, thank you. That intro was amazing. I wanted to look and say, who are they talking about? But that, right? And thank you for your strength, your courage. To those that don't know, I'm sure everybody knows your story. If they don't, they need to hear it. Your strength is just when you reached out, is the wow factor. Like, absolutely, I'm gonna make sure this happens. So thank you for having me. Happy pre-Mother's Day.
Okay.
I know you're an amazing mom, was an amazing wife, and just grateful, right? So a lot of times, when people are kind of promoting you, you got to let that person know, like, hey, you need to be promoted as well, right? So kudos to you. Love you,
Thanks,
sis.
brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Who is Marlon Lock? I'm just born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, man. 49 years old. That's what my mama tell me. So I really don't know when I was born, right? I'm just April 26, 1976. So I just roll with it.
Right.
And just a regular guy. Like I said, I love God. I love people. And I think my strength comes from, my brokenness and my dependency on God.
Wow.
That's all I'm uh, over in China. A lot of times when they break a vase or vase, wherever you're from,
Yeah.
how you say it, um, they won't never throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
They get it, they heat it back up, but they seal it back together with pure gold, and it makes it valuable.
Wow.
I'm talking about it's broke.
Right.
But most will throw it away, but the gold, the value in it, now they sell it for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I really feel like that's our life. We're broken, and God somehow mends us back together, and now we have this value to
Mm.
others, but it only
You
can come through
starting.
our brokenness.
You're already starting.
If that makes sense. And
Yes.
I'm trying to be regular, but like that's literally how I view my life. So like, yeah, I'm just broken.
One of the things that we talked about, because I met you, I was 15, and I became a member of Unity at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and you were known for the drummer that can sing.
Drummer that can sing.
Sitting there, I never
I'm in a
seen a
pocket.
drummer
Listen.
playing and singing.
And I did not get paid. Let me just throw that out there for you musicians. Just taking advantage of these churches. I sang and I played and I cleaned the church and I didn't get paid. That's another story for another day. Go ahead. I'm telling on everybody.
Right. Like we're gonna this out here. We're gonna put it all out there. You have, and I think this we were just having a simple conversation, and I was sharing with you that I lost my father.
Mm-hmm.
It was only like within a year, and then you was like, sis, wow, I lost my dad when I was about 10 years old.
Yes.
And I looked at you like, how are you making it?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then to hear others talk about your story, the loss of your family, like you just ministered, and then all of a sudden you lost your dad right after that. Or can you give us like a walk of a child? You are a black man, a man of color, and you're losing your father after maybe a great milestone in your life. Can you talk about that? How that affected you?
My dad heard me preach my first message. I came from St. John 3:16. My subject was God is a good God. I was so little and short that they had to put a little wood podium down for me to stand up to reach the microphone.
Mm.
My dad is there. He's crying. My brother Mike, who's incarcerated at this moment now,
Oh wow.
who I love with all my heart, who's a mentor of mine while
Mm.
incarcerated. Let me just throw that in there.
Okay.
He like the most realest counselor that I can have. So shout out to the big bro.
Okay.
And my dad was there. He just cried. That was April the 20, my birthday, April 26th. And I told my granddad I wanted to preach when I turned 10. It just so happened that Sunday was April 27th.
Oh,
So I
wow.
preached my message. May the 13th, they found my dad dead in a car, and they found heroin in his system.
Mm.
Years later, I have my oldest daughter, Tone. Guess when her birthday is? May 13th. So the same date that my dad passed away, God allowed my daughter to come into my life.
OMG.
Who I got her mom pregnant before we got married. Let me just throw that out there. Since we out here, I just gonna tell it all.
You doing true serum today.
Yeah. But and I don't say it in a braggadocious way, but I think people need to know the things that people go through. A lot of people look at your platform and say, hey, you're so awesome. Actually, I'm not.
Mm.
I'm really broken.
Yeah.
God mended this thing back together. So now if he can do it for me, he's no respecter of person. He can do it for you.
Yeah.
So now just having that, had my granddad, my brother step up, but my granddad was critical. My granddad became my granddad obviously became my, you helped me, you sang at his homegoing service, right? He became my best friend. I mean, and growing up, my dad was in prison when I was little at Walpon. So I stayed with my grandparents during the week. I was my mama's weekend baby.
Mm.
Right? Because she had my other brothers, and she was working at Wisconsin Bell. That ended up being the Meritech. Long story short, and even when my dad passed, we were at the house on Village, 7120 was Village, and we were going through the funeral arrangements, and they were talking about like song selections and who was going to sing. And my granddad said, "Tony, talking about me, I need you to do Walk Around Heaven all day." So,
wow,
I'm 10.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, he can't do that. My granddad said, why not? Gotta give him strength.
Whew.
Yeah, that. I'll never forget, I'm singing. One of these mornings, it won't be long. You will look for me, and I'll be gone. I'm going to a place where I'll have nothing to do. And when I said walk around, my oldest brother, Melvin, was crying like you would not believe. And that moment when I saw my brother Melvin cry is when I broke down and cried.
Mm.
Then my granddad, take your time, son.
Like, come back.
Not you done because you can't do it. It's too much.
No.
Have a seat. Take your time, son. So
Ooh.
I literally grew up with, you can do all things through Christ.
Mm.
I'm grateful for that now because I've literally done all the things, but
Yes.
it's only through Christ. And that's where the church got to get back to, but yet understanding. So for an example, and I'm not saying this to be funny, but I know the people that when I pray for,
Mhm.
I'm praying for you, God bless you, but go take your meds.
Yeah.
Go see your
Say
counselor.
that again. Say that again for the people in the back. Come on.
And now being a substance abuse counselor, I can actually offer different prescriptions, and I go to these things
Yes.
to say, hey, you know what? Now, if a person, and people that may not notice, sometimes those meds can kind of have you not yourself. So when you don't feel normal, to
Right.
everybody else, you're great. But when you feeling great, everybody else know you ain't being normal. So now give me this therapy, this
Yes.
treatment, this medicine, but also, and we pray, God, whatever in the
Mm-hmm.
medicine that
Mm-hmm.
can help me, let it help me. Whatever could harm me, block it out. Hopefully, we can get off of it ultimately through
Yes.
treatment, through therapy, through counseling. So now we have those things, like you mentioned, a bereavement group. Um, we put that together because people need. Minister Alicia Knox kind of
Yeah.
spearheads it. And when I go um, in her classes for therapy. So I'm in
Mm.
there crying with them.
Right. Now you're a
So I'm
person.
not even in there as
Yeah.
pastor because I didn't grieve my granddad correctly. I did a horrible job
Ah.
grieving my granddad. I didn't even grieve my granddad because I wanted to be strong for everybody else.
Because
Shame
you're
on me and everybody else.
because you're a pastor, because you got to lead the church, because you have to be a husband, because you have to be a father, because you have to do this.
I did not cry at the funeral.
I noticed that.
When my
But it
grandma
looked like
passed,
you were zoned.
when my grandma passed away, I couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
That was my girl. Ah, but for my granddad, I wanted to be strong, and I said that's probably. And I don't live with regrets.
Mhm.
I believe you win, never lose. You win and you learn. I learned from everything I've been through. But if I had a regret, two regrets is I stopped playing the piano because it was hard.
Mhm.
Shame on my mama for letting me stop, and I did not grieve properly my granddad when he passed because I wanted to be strong for everybody else. So then when I finally did grieve, it just crushed me.
Ah.
Even now, the car he left me, I still got a car, a 2009 vehicle that he left me, luxury automobile. It's not even 12,000 miles on it. We in 2025. I'm gonna say that again. It's not even 12,000
I
miles
bet.
on it. Because when I get in the car, guess what I do?
Cry.
I cry. 2 years ago, when I took it to the shop because something was going on with the rear wheel barrel, and they
Okay.
said you gotta drive it
Mm.
because you're not driving it. I just keep it plugged in. So yeah, it's real. And people need to know it's real. And even as a pastor, as a leader, normally that one that's
Yes.
really, really strong, that's the one you really should be praying for. You really should be praying for that person.
And
Bishop T.D.
yes.
Jakes, we would take leaders there every
Yeah.
year down to the Powder House for his International Leadership Conference. And it's something when he went through what he went through and he had the heart attack. It's
Yeah.
like, I never forget, I went to this, it was called Pisgah.
Hmm.
And Pisgah, you had to be at least 40 years old.
Okay.
And then it was Project Gideon. 39 and under pastors go to Gideon. 40 and over, consider, vet, you go to Pisgah. We were there, and he looked at us and he said, it was probably 125 of us in the room. He said, if any one of you in here traded lives with me for 7 days straight, it would kill you.
Ooh.
I'd never forget that. And then when he ultimately allowed his, son-in-law and his daughter to
Hmm.
kind of take over the
Take
Potter's
over.
house, me and my wife were able to sit and talk and like, man, he said when you go through things and you go through this
Come
and
on.
when you would do good, evil is present. So as a pastor, if I'm just around church people, I'm not reaching nobody that's lost. When I get around lost people, I'm being
Yes.
criticized because what you're doing with them, well, it's not that I'm doing anything wrong. Even
Uh,
Jesus got condemned with that. So people don't understand the behind the scenes, and the reality says a lot of people don't care.
because everyone looks to you, and I'm saying you in general.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in pastors and your leadership, whether you're the fivefold ministry or you just in whatever platform you're on,
Mm-hmm.
we're put in a position to where, like you said, I couldn't cry, I couldn't do this because in my mind,
I
and the
gotta be
in the system
strong.
that we're raised in, the mentality like someone told my 4-year old, "Don't you cry, you got to be strong." Your daddy, don't you tell him
Don't you
that?
tell them that. He's supposed
son,
to
you better
cry.
cry.
Yeah.
And people look at me when they ask me how's your son doing, I said every day he asks about his father. Every day because they had a daily routine,
Wow.
sun up to sundown. You know what I'm saying? And even if my husband worked third shift, he was FaceTiming him for their morning routine. If he was running home late, he
Wow.
was doing their evening. There was not a moment that they skipped the beat. Honey, I got to work late. Can you bring him to the job? I was bringing them up there so they could still do their
Do their thing.
daily
Yeah.
routine.
Yeah.
So to bring a 4-year-old, and he'll say, "Oh, I forgot, Mama. He's in heaven with Jesus." So Easter messed him up
Mm.
because he said, and Jesus rose. So Jesus woke up. So mommy, so daddy can wake up now?
Wow.
And then you're put in a position of how do I explain this to a 4-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I done told you that he's sleeping. I done told this. I done told that. Then I got to still get up and witness and minister. Then I got to still do this. I have to still be strong. And I have to do this. There are times in ministry, people just don't understand that even leaders go through.
Absolutely.
Like it was, it was a domino effect after Apostle Lock passed. It was
Yeah.
like after Apostle, then Mother Lock, then it was this person, it was that, and then it was
My
your mother-in-law.
mother-in-law,
I was just like, oh my gosh,
brother
how?
sentenced in prison.
That's a grieving. That's a grieving.
Yeah.
How were you able to maintain your faith as all these different hats that you wear? How did you still say to be sane? To because you know the enemy. Since we're there, the enemy plays on your mind.
Yeah.
We're tempted at every angle.
Yeah.
Now it feel like we're Job to the 10th power because I told people I said if Job 2024 was a person,
Come on.
you know what I mean? And because that was like really my year of being like I understood, and I never read the book of Job until a few months ago.
Wow.
We heard about it,
Yeah.
but to know
But we
the
shout
depths,
about it.
yeah.
But
Ooh,
when-
Job
but-
got double
but-
for the trouble.
But when you're Job, you ain't, man, I ain't trying to hear that.
And you got to be doing something wrong, Pastor T,
That's true.
to lose all them people
That's true.
for that stuff that happened to your brother
That's
and
true.
them, for all that stuff. How you make on the news and then you can't even go to the barbershop.
When I'm leaving the barber shop, a guy comes to me. He says, "Hey, man, um, I don't mean to say this the wrong way, but your I heard that the church was built off drug money that your brother." So I'm crushed because I know the life my granddad lived. We had an undercover agent come to the church. They said that my brother had women and he would get the women, bring the women to me. I would take them in the basement of the church, try the women out. I can't make this stuff up. I don't know if I should be sharing this, but I'm out here now. It is what it is. He comes to church, goes through the members class. I'm teaching the members class at that point, asking about tithe and offering, like how we do the money. So we
Right,
like
which is general questions.
I'm at the gym. YMCA on 124th. I'm working out. He there. He a member. I'm not knowing he not even from here. They planted him at the church. Do you want to know when he let me know that he knew I was innocent? Because the people that lied said I took these women in the basement. Well, Unity has no basement. So he's
That's
going
why
to
my
the
mouth got like,
ushers.
what?
He's going to the ushers and deacons like, yeah, but I want to get to the basement. They're like, oh no, the bathroom's right here. He was like, well, no, don't. He's at the lower level of his basement. It was like, no,
we don't have no basement.
And then he started to get help.
Ah,
Let me tell you what God will do.
converted.
So
Come on.
now he like, you remember when I left the job?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you knew what was going on with my granddad. You knew he was in a 7-week coma. You knew they was pronounced him dead for several minutes. Society said I left because I was on
Your
drugs, my brother. Then he looked at me, he said, man, I don't know what drug you using. I want to be on it today. Because your drug is work. If you getting high on something, you look better than most high, unbelievable. And to hear that just hit me to the core. But I could remain, God is faithful. I've been saying this for a while now, but this is what I tell people. No matter what the situation is, Romans 8:28
Come on.
that's the goal. So no matter how we're hitting, for those who don't know, it says, and we know that all things work. Come on, somebody.
Work together
Work
for the
together
good
for
of
the
them.
good. Yeah.
I love
Who
God.
love God and called according to his purpose.
Yes.
So at that part. So now It's happening, and I look at the goal. When my wife lost her mother-in-law, we went to. I opened the door. I went and saw her laying on the floor. I went and touched her, and my wife saying, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Call 911." I knew she was gone because of how cold she was. But I had to tell my wife, I'm 828. See, this is the thing, sis, and I want somebody to hear this, man, or see this.
Ooh, you helping.
Yeah,
today.
I
said I wasn't going.
No, listen to me. The goal is
needed.
The goal is the goal.
Yes,
if all things work together for good, so some good gonna come out of this. It don't say it's gonna feel good. Yeah. Because it didn't feel good when Jesus was getting nailed in his hand.
No.
Nailed in his feet. Matter of fact, Jesus said, "Let this pass." So in hood terms, hey, come on, Pops. I ain't trying to go through. Really?
Waiting to the blood.
And then my crew that I rock with, not the other disciples, like y'all, my mans in there. Y'all go to sleep at my lowest moment. But it's not until you have your lowest moment. 4 years ago, I had a situation that happened at the ministry. I tell people this: I've never done anything wrong as a pastor, but it's a huge difference on how I'll handle things now versus in 2009, 10, 11, and 12,
Gotcha.
13, 14, right?
Yeah.
And when unity grew at such a rapid rate, I had no point of reference of that. Yeah. Everybody had my grandparents' phone number, 414-466-7666. Yeah, people saying then, why you got all them sixes? That's the devil. My granddad like, what Wisconsin Bill gave us this number. Wait a minute, think about that. So my reason in sharing that is when you're going through, you have to know what the end goal is, you know. And because I love people, I have people say, man, I don't know how you deal with them people, because I love them. That's why Jesus says a new commandment.
Yes.
I give you.
Yes.
Love others as I've loved you. Because when you say treat people how you want to be, love them like some people don't love themselves. Some people never been taught love. So now they're in a whole. I know this kind of off topic, but yet it's all kind of go there.
We're in the vein.
Yeah.
We're in the
so
vein,
and if they never been loved, like I have guys that'll tell me they love me, that cry and say, "Man, I never told my daddy I love him, but I'll say it to you, and I enjoy it, and I still don't want to say it to my dad." Go figure that out. So now it's. But again, somebody that's broken and needed love, I give people what I needed.
Yeah.
Like when I was broken, like I need to be put back together. Don't hear something about me and you run with it.
Yeah.
Care. Ask me. Did you see I'm super transparent? I'm gonna tell you the truth. Let me tell you something. One thing about me, if I did something,
yeah, I did.
Because guess what? You have too.
But you don't fight on anyway. So let's just be the open book.
So people say, you go to that church, man. You know his brother. Oh yeah, he told us that when we joined. I got a brother in prison. We believe in God to let him out, but he's been there for about 16, 17 years.
Keep hope alive, y'all.
Y'all, I got my oldest daughter. I got her mama pregnant. Yeah, we got married, but she was pregnant before we got married.
What?
I just got married because I knew the church would judge me. So I got married at 18. But I was divorced at 20. Then from 20 to 26, I was the biggest harlot you could imagine.
Not using the harlot word.
Well, I'm be on. I want to, pastoral harlot, HARLOT, the big. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say what I was. Yeah. Then I was saying in the braggadocious way, but God had to deliver me.
Yeah.
So that I tell people, even people in the grieving from a loss or broken relationship, my wife had came out of one, and when she met me, it was I'm like, man, what we on? She like, oh no. She knew I was broke. Ken.
Right.
I was a police officer. I had the females. I'm missing that. She like, nah. She said, but if we get married, I'll take care of you. And I'm like, man, I call my brother Mike, like, man, bro, she told me, man, I ain't finna wife. Really? Just to get man, I ain't finna wife. Guess what? It's been 22 years. And I ain't getting nothing.
And we listen and we don't.
We can't make this up. We on the plane, Ocho Rios, Jamaica. I'm looking out the window. I'm praying. I'm saying, God, please let this be what it needs to be.
Kim gonna get you.
Please.
Kim, I had nothing to do with this.
Please.
I had nothing to do with this.
She's telling me, and she I'm in this prayer. She telling me, I'm like, huh? She's like, you okay? I'm like, oh yeah. Because we hadn't been intimate.
Right.
So I'm like, oh.
In my mind.
Jesus, this got to be right. This life's got to be right.
Lord, you said it.
Listen, we did it the right way. Now, mind you, we did it the right way, but I was still involved with other women while we were engaged. My mental
So you
health.
were still grieving.
I'm broken.
Still grieving and broken.
I'm broken.
Mm.
And you get taught, man, the more you got under your belt, but I'm broken. So when I became suicidal, tried to take my own life as a police officer at District 7, 3626 West Fond du Lac.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Well, I know because you're the truth serum today, but it's just, but you were in ministry.
Man,
You
I'm playing the
there
drums, I'm
preaching.
singing. And you know what I would do? Let me just throw this out there. Whenever my granddad would go out of town, it was me, Mike, Troy, Big Kenny, Joe Roberson, Dugard. So we knew my granddad would go like they'd miss 2 Sundays, and then we had Tuesday, Thursday, and First Friday service.
Right.
So when we would have to preach, I would say, Lord, I know I ain't been living right, but I know I gotta preach. Use me. In Jesus' name. Amen.
You touching on some stuff that's gonna mess people up.
You know what's crazy? He would use me. And I would feel horrible. And then I would just, it was the constant battle. Dude, this flesh is real. And people don't talk about it. So now when you don't talk about it, that's why God gives us platforms such as this. That's why you're doing an amazing job. Because when you don't talk about it, people don't know. So they go through life thinking something wrong with them. No, that person that you admire the most, they're dealing with it.
Yeah.
They're masking it.
This is my first time ever hearing you say about the suicide.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh my goodness, but I've seen, even on TV, so many senior pastors that know the word of God, minister the word of God, talk about the word of God.
Tons of people following them, helping tons of people.
They commit
suicide.
Like,
I got a question for you, sis. Who can I really tell my truth to and they don't look at me different? Let's talk about that for a minute.
That's hard. No,
my truth. So if not careful, we put this facade on, we walk on like everything is good.
Yeah.
So I told my wife this 22 years ago. I said, Kim, as far as I call her, I said, Kim, if you ever stop liking me, some people ain't gonna like what I'm finna say. I'm not really big on in love. How many people I counsel that's in love and this the pits? I don't want that. If that's what in love is,
look like,
I don't want it.
Keep that.
I said, I want you to always like me. Like when I text you. Like when I'm coming home. I like to see, oh man, my wife sent me a message. I like to see that you called. Some guys be like, that, they hit ignore. Like, man, she called. I'm thinking to myself, like, let my wife call. Hold on 1 second. Hey, boo. What you doing? What you need? You need me to get something? And then she sent like a list of 50 items. Like, you should probably just went yourself. Like, I can't stand going grocery shopping. Yeah, she was saying that she know what aisles to go in and go to Syndics for this. And go to, yeah, she that's her. But my point is, broken. And it's this book called Brene Brown. I'm an avid reader. I love reading now. I love it. I love reading.
We're gonna have to talk on this.
Oh yeah.
You done grill up on me.
It's called The Gift of Imperfection.
Ooh.
Sis, if you read this book, do you know how beautiful it is for you to let people know I'm not perfect? But when you walk around pretending to be perfect, and you're actually perfectly flawed, but you can't tell people that, now you go crazy. Because you like, dude, this ain't what y'all see. We can tell people, I embrace my imperfections. Yes. I embrace my crooked teeth.
Come on, I love my big nose.
Listen, I had braces. I stopped wearing a retainer. This gap, the mess around and came back.
Those are temporary.
People tell me I got Michael Jackson's first nose. I can smell. I got a big forehead. I tell my barber, don't take my lining back.
Please don't.
Somebody done got me early. My line is supposed to be here, but it's always back. I'm saluting back here. Hey, how you doing? It is what it is, man. And that when I read that book, I told my wife, I told my kids, I went through it with them. I told the ministry, and I said, y'all read this book. And when I tell you people were, the word of God will set you free. But that book, it'll help on the journey.
Ooh.
The therapy side of it.
Yes.
So,
yes. And see, I'm actually reading from Dr. Miles Monroe, The Purpose of a Woman.
mm,
And it's the two sided. It's the analogy from God, and
mm-hmm.
then also, like you said, the therapy point of understanding what is your purpose. Your quote that you always bring up is, "I live life on
On purpose.
purpose."
Like if I'm having fun,
Yeah,
I'm having fun on purpose.
yeah.
If I'm eating good, I'm a foodie. That's why I got it. Well,
Well, I was
last
trying to be
2 years.
nice with the nuts because I didn't know what you
Well,
was doing
but I
before.
eat noon to 8, so that's my window.
Okay.
Been doing that for 2 years now, and it has just changed me. I
Mm.
walk outside every day. You got to get your vitamin D. I walk
Yes,
outside
natural.
minimum 45 minutes every single day, even in the snow, even in the rain. I be posting. I'm out in the yeah. You got to get it in, and it's just it's real therapy, man. It's real in my lowest moments. Going to the gym. Um, I played basketball this morning with my son. I said, son, when you turn 13. I'm so taking you to the gym with me, throw you in the fire. So today was literally this morning was our first day,
Oh,
6:30
wow.
a.m. in the fire. He playing, he got
Pause.
elbowed.
Mm-mm,
Go ahead, I'm
mm-mm,
sorry. Go
mm-mm,
ahead.
mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I want to already just, why did nobody prep him the type of person you are in the gym? That's wrong.
Everybody in the gym today did.
Oh, mm. And I only know because remember you was a trainer
Yeah,
at the church
yeah.
for all the women. They was like, I want to be slim and trim. And I said,
Okay.
I'm not joining that.
Okay. Remember we did the biggest loser? Like,
Yes,
yeah, all
Kelly,
right, I
you want
got
to
you.
join it? No, I said
We,
Tony is
we could
crazy.
be
I
down there this
said,
summer too at the Hill. I got somebody that signed up.
I'll pray for you. Because but that is your passion.
That is.
Your health and wellness, like it's it's amazing. But when you are the trainer mode, you gonna pray after, pray before and after. But in between, you're not Pastor Lock. You're not old brother Tony, old Marlon. You
Let's get it.
are Coach
Yep.
Lock to the 10th power, and that's your passion. Like that's why I said, "Ooh, time out." Did anybody
I
prep
got
him?
I got certified from Health Coach Institute as a life coach.
Yes.
I went to Health Coach Institute out of Iowa. I went there because they gave me your first 3 months is all nutrition because most people don't realize
What you eat?
what you eat does so much. Your
Mhm.
exercise does so much with how you feel.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. So I'm in there. I'm like, dude, I ain't trying to be a nutritionist. They was like, yeah, yes, you are. So now when I understood that, and
That
it's like
component.
that helped me. So a lot of people, I got a group called Team 365. Um, that I started, and it's a faith group, but I can stretch them as a life coach.
Mm.
So like now, probably it's supposed to be all 70s next week. So we're gonna start doing our heel work.
Mm.
For start doing our stairs,
Yes.
right? And think about it. It's a book called Atomic Habits. Say since you go to the gym one day and you get on a treadmill and you walk for 2 minutes, you went, you showed up. Most people don't show up.
No.
Not just working out, show up in your marriage, show up in your relationship, show
Yes.
up as a
Come on.
friend,
Come
show up,
on.
just show up.
Yeah.
Show up for you, care. It's a book called Make Your Bed that I read from a Navy SEAL. And the whole gist of it is the first thing you do, you know how many people walking around, all time millions of people, their bed is not
Not
made up.
made.
But when you get up and you make your bed, it tells your
It sets the
mind,
tone. Yes.
I accomplished something. I
Yes.
finished it.
Yes.
Everybody want to multitask. That's the worst thing you can do. That's a horrible word. Because you go to bed at night with a whole bunch of stuff on your desk
That you still
and you still haven't finished. It's a book called, I'm talking about a lot of books, right? Called The One Thing. Focus on the most, write down your 10 things. Then out of them 10, what's the most important 5 of them? Okay, what's the most important 3? Out of them 3, which one is going to take care of the rest of them 9?
Mm.
That's what you focus on.
And see what I'm also hearing you say is that you created boundaries.
You have to.
So from
Set
your
boundaries,
first,
find peace.
right, because you started ministry, well, becoming a pastor or
April
your
8th,
assistant.
2009.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
assistant.
But 2005, I
Right,
became the
the
assistant.
assistant,
Yep.
and then in 2009 you had to become senior. So like you said, from then until you was going through all those lumps, all those bumps and bruises.
My phone is 99% of the time on Do Not Disturb.
I'm okay with that. I had to start doing that. I didn't before. And I think it was when my husband and I got serious, and
Yep.
when we got married, I noticed like we've been trying to do something, And he was like, he just flipped. I said, oh, you ain't got to tell me twice.
And one of my mentors told me, don't even flip it on. Don't even have it on the table.
Put it up. Put it up.
You're the most important. So when I'm with my kids, when I'm at the events, I'm locked in. It's crazy, man. Set boundaries, find peace. If you set boundaries, you find peace. And see, boundaries is not for the other person, it's for you. See, this is the thing, Kelly, because you so loving and you so kind, you have a heart of God, you want to help people, you're not jealous. I'm willing to do whatever I can do to help people to take advantage of it.
Yes.
So people can get your love, but you can't get my access.
Come on, sir.
That's all. They're going to feel the love. Hey, what you think? And then what you do is, hey, Wednesdays between 3 and 6, that's a great time for me. So you let them know. Don't call me any other time in a really nice way.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be rude, but when you a giver,
yeah.
I give you an example. If somebody came to you and said, Miss Kelly, can I have $250? I got this going on, I got that. They give you a whole spiel. If not careful, you would do it because you a giver.
Yeah.
And if you got it and don't give it, you will feel bad. Like, well, I technically could have. That 250 been the worst 250 you could ever give.
Man.
So no, we're gonna sit down and write up. Let me see what you good at.
Yeah.
I do that with people now. What you good at? Well, I need this. Okay. Well, I got some boxes need to be moved. I got some grass. I still got some leaves.
You're gonna get it back.
Yeah, but you're not gonna just.
Yeah.
Because now you want to appreciate it.
Exactly.
When you work for it. So like my kids, what we started doing when it was time for school shopping, we said, how much money y'all want for school shopping? $750. Y'all sure that's it? Well, give us $1,000. All right, cool. But that's it. They think $100 bills is a whole bunch of money. But when that's gone, that's it. So we start doing that, sis. Now they go to the clearance. Hey, let's go to the outlet
first.
Oh, you don't want to go to Michigan? You don't want the Gucci shoes? You don't want the $800 shoes? You got $200 left. Oh, you don't want Jordans?
Not this week.
Okay. Because people value, when they got skin in the game, they value it more.
And your wisdom over time, sir.
Yeah.
That's why some stuff when we were talking offline, I was just like,
yeah.
And it's not a knock.
No, absolutely.
Definitely not saying it like that.
No, absolutely.
We don't hear. And that's what I'm saying. I said, I'm a big advocate. I believe in, my husband and I always had a saying, we believe in empower, we believe in educate, and we believe in advocacy for those that suffer in silence.
Yep.
So when I hear people say, well, I'm just going to go to my pastor and get prayer, what are we going to do after that? I believe in normalizing Jesus in therapy. And I know we was laughing because you was like, people just get prayer to get the cloth and then they go home. What are we doing after that? How do, we create those boundaries? We're creating this and that, and other things to make us be better. But people do not believe, like, pastors have lives, leadership, whatever. If you're on ministry teams, like, I love the fact that because I want to say this respectfully, your church is considered in the area that it's in. You're in 53205 or 06?
05.
05. So I work in really highly with a lot of nonprofit organizations, and when we do our grant writings and stuff like that, we're told what certain areas are called.
Yes.
Your area is called the rejects.
Absolutely.
And then those of us that know in the medical field, you have Freighter over in that area, they have the mental health complex. They moved that now to your zip code. Literally down the street. Then you got a homeless shelter. You got shelter. So many homeless shelters. And then outside of those homeless shelters, you have so many people that are outside holding signs in those areas that's suffering from substance abuse, suffering from sexual
on the bridge.
assault. Yes. I mean, and then now if you go by the home bridge in that area, they have now moved, like they put like gates or am I saying that right? Gates up because so many people will walk from the lake and jump off because they would be so depressed and so this and that.
Yes.
And they throw it back on leadership. Well, my pastor's never available when I need them. And like you said, no. I've started creating boundaries because if we're not careful, we'll start picking up the weight of others. We're starting to pick up the weight of now my whole congregation, and I'm taking it everywhere with me versus like, like you said, who can you outpour to?
The cross that Jesus told me to carry is not your issue. That's not a part of the cross. You better learn how to rightly divide. That's no. That's your issue. So I have a
Mm.
lot of men. I got some men that disconnected from me because they was like, bro, I told you I needed you, and you gave me a link to a men's Zoom every Wednesday at 5 a.m. Yeah, every Wednesday you're gonna sacrifice. You ain't doing nothing.
But that's the support.
And
That's
that's a
support.
support group. So I'm giving you an accessibility to me 5 a.m. every Wednesday. I'm in Turks and Caicos with my wife. I said, boo, I can have somebody else teach a class, but she was like, no, boo, I know you love being with the men. I'm in Turks and Caicos and the sun ain't even up. So I go out by the water and it's dark. I'm kind of looking around because I'm like, I don't need no animals coming out here.
Creep, creep.
And different guys was like, hey, man, like I see palm trees and it's like, bro, man, if
You on
we tell me know where
vacation.
you at. I'm like, oh, I'm on vacation with the wife. We're in Turks and Caicos. It was like, are you kidding me? And at the time is different. So I had to
Yeah.
get up early. That's why it was dark.
Yeah.
It was light where they was at. It was dark where I was at.
Mhm.
And I said, no, y'all mean that much to me.
Come on.
But don't tell me I'm not doing my part because now you want to call me when I'm at my son's game.
Mm.
I'm going to a movie. I'm eating. Oh, bro, I'm busy with my wife and my kids. When I'm at church, I'm in that vein. When I'm with my family, I'm in that vein. Me and my wife, we just went to the Golden State Warriors game Tuesday.
Mm.
I just needed to get away.
Yeah.
And I love Steph Curry. They in Minnesota, man, ain't that far. The flight was like 47 minutes. I'm like, dude, come on, man. We had some little points. You know, I'm like, okay, we got these
do the
points.
points.
We'll use these points. So we go, we get away, we have a great time. And this guy, this club out of New Berlin that I go to, he was like, man, like, wasn't that expensive? And I said, well, what do you value?
Mm.
I said, do you drink? He was like, yeah. Your money go to alcohol. Do you smoke? Yeah, I smoke cigars. You part of a cigar club. Do you gamble? Man, every now and again, your money go to gambling.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's important to you.
Yeah.
Me having fun, having a good meal, seeing my wife and my kids happy, seeing the ministry thrive and people getting help. That's fun to me.
It's needed.
So you gotta. He was like, man, I never heard nobody break it down like that. He was like, now that I think about it, I'm not really having fun. You said it.
Not me.
And this was a white guy. So yeah, man, it's just grateful for the journey, for the ups, for the downs, for the brokenness.
Mm.
But yet God somehow, mended it all back together. Grateful for my wife during those times. 22 years, she understand me.
Wow.
I'm a Taurus by nature, so I'm extremely stubborn. I always think I'm right, and if I'm wrong, if you prove it, oh, I'll bow down. But you can just tell me I'm wrong, and now that's just it. How? What I do? How am I wrong? Show me, right? And she understands that, even with our kids, with them in them low moments, them just being there, just like, man, Dad, we got you.
Mm.
My birthday was April 26th, and all the gifts and all the texts and all the shout outs through the ministry, that was great. But I got my daughter Asia was in Michigan State. Her first birthday of mine ever not being with us.
Okay.
This girl sent me. Hold on, one second. Can I share this?
Absolutely.
Let me share this since we're here. See.
I appreciate the pastors that are transparent, the leaders that are transparent, and because we don't see this in our church community, we just see you behind.
Yep.
Oh, give God some praise. Everybody hitting them notes.
Yeah. She says, "Oh, Daddy," with the teary eyes.
Aw.
Happy birthday. I just want to take the time to let you know how grateful I am to have you as my dad. Not many people are fortunate enough to have both parents in their lives, and I'm so thankful that I am. Even before I was born, God knew that you would be my dad, which I think is pretty cool, but also crazy if you think about it. From the life lessons to the moments of laughter, to kicking it and getting the bite to eat. I'm grateful for it all. I couldn't ask for a better dad, and you deserve everything that God has coming your way to make your life even better than it is right now. I pray that 49 is filled with a lot of peace, abundance of wealth, and happiness like none other. Not being with you on your birthday feels unreal, but I can't wait to celebrate you when I'm back in the next few days. As I continue to grow and mature as a young lady, I will never forget the times we talked and the life lessons you instill in me. to keep me sharp and grounded. Your words remind me of my worth and the importance of staying true to who I am, keeping God as the center of it all.
Mm,
Thank you for always being my biggest supporter
mm.
and greatest mentor. I'm forever honored to call you my dad. Happy birthday. And she called me Teasy Leasy. Remember Big Lope?
Yeah.
So Asia called me, India called me Big Fella. So when they called me Dad, Asia called me Teasy Leasy. My son, he'd be like, bro, he on that.
Right.
But how cool was that?
Dude.
When I tell you, I FaceTimed her and I just cried and we cried together because I'm just leaving the gym. When I got to the gym, I got that message and all my gifts my other kids got me. That was great. But that one there, come on, man.
And then that's something that you can, because if I can go to the medical side right now, right? So, in statistics will tell us, because of what your father went through,
Yes.
the impact on your what you saw, and I love Mike. Oh, but because Mike was this, or because what they're saying,
Yes.
they're expected you to do what? Fall in that same
Fall in
vein.
the same vein.
Or you're either going to be this or you're going to be that, because that's what society will tell you. But now it's like you took your grieving to a whole nother stance.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a pastor. Yes, I go through. Yes, I've been broken, but God brought that gold, because what we're tried in the fire, we come out as pure
Pure
gold.
gold.
And that was a testament. I'm getting over here teary eyed, like, girl, don't you trying to this makeup ain't lasting. We probably should have took pictures before. Because me as somebody that those are the things, like, I wish I could still tell my father that
Come on,
he's
man.
not here. You
Come
know what
on.
I'm saying?
Yes.
If my father was here right now, I'd be all up in his face, hugging on his neck, getting on his nerves, hearing him say Scooby. If you don't get off me, don't ask him why he called me Scooby Doo.
Okay. I got you.
That's my nickname.
All right.
But just to have that opportunity,
Yeah.
and then so many, and I'm gonna go pull the card. So many black women, so many black young boys, so many black young girls, so many black men don't have someone that they can actually call dad.
That's true.
You're a spiritual father to your community,
Absolutely.
to your church community.
Absolutely.
But it does hit different when your blood daughter
Oh
comes
my
and say
God.
dad.
Because see, my kids know how I treat them.
Mm-hmm.
They see how I treat their mama at home.
Hmm.
That's a whole nother topic, whole nother podcast.
Oh, you got to come back with that.
Because yeah, that what you see and everybody see, that don't do it for me.
No,
that's easy.
What you do in the house?
But they see how I treat their mama.
I'm
They
telling
see
you.
how kind I am.
Yes.
How I'm loving.
Mm-hmm.
So my daughters know the bar is set here. And I talk to my daughters in the raw.
Yeah.
No, the raw. So can't no dude come to them and say nothing. Oh, my dad put me on. Yeah. And my son gonna know how to treat his wife when he get married, because he gotta treat his mom.
Yeah.
And I'm just big on that, man.
And that is nothing but confirmation, because that's what we did in our house.
Yeah.
My son, he always saw my husband and I loving on each other, showing each other love. If we're in the kitchen together cooking, or if we're doing this and that, he always saw that. So my son naturally is going to walk up to you and hug you.
Yeah.
Or, because he'll say, Mommy, I don't like how they look. I think I should give him a hug.
Wow.
Hey, you don't even know that. In my mind, but God had to tell me he has a strong discernment already now. And it was somebody, give an example, somebody was sitting there, we were in Chicago, and the man was just down, and my son said, and he was maybe 3. He said, Mama, I want to hug. And my son walked over there and hugged him. He said, You okay? It's going to be all right. And that man
he did.
Just broke down. And because, I had those, as parents, we have those body harnesses.
I got you.
All right, come back, son. But my son, and he's 4, he said, Mommy, Daddy, you and Daddy always hug on each other. You and Daddy always. And I told, and I said this to my mother-in-law, and I said, Your son never put his hands on me.
Wow.
He never raised his voice. He never disrespected me. Regardless of what social media may say about our, different people, whatever, I only could go by what like you said, what happens in this house.
Yeah.
Because in this house is what showed our son, how do you treat somebody? How do you do this? How do you do that? You know what I'm saying? This is our baby. He's going to take on that. And, like somebody says, don't cry. You got to be strong. Cry. Because that takes so much pressure off of you. And yes, I'm in ministry. Yes, I'm in leadership. Yes, I attend church. Yes, I do this. But Lord, there are some days where Jaquel has those moments. I miss my husband.
Yeah,
And then it
yes.
takes me to a point where, dang, because like you said, your grandfather was your best friend. My husband was my best friend.
Mm.
And then it puts me in a place of I lost my father. So now that was my first best friend. So now you got a 12 between that as a child, now as a wife. Oh, I thought I was doing better, but now we're reverting back. Can
You
you
my
give us,
message tomorrow too.
oh,
Just in
sorry.
case.
Can you give us some encouragement from a leadership perspective on how we're walking and we're tried through the fire? How are you walking and getting that gold? I love that analogy that you talked about, that vase being broken.
Yeah.
Can you encourage us? Because I thought about that song again. I told you about when I first joined Unity. I was 15 years old. I'm trying not to cry. Ooh, you got to come back because
I
I
can
know
do
I'm
all
hitting my
things
time.
through
But
Christ
so
who
yes,
strengthens me.
you was on the drums, and I didn't know. I was like, and I'm hearing about it, sing, Tony, and I'm like, who is Tony? Who's and I'm everybody's looking over in the
Where's he
musician
at
section,
singing?
right? So I knew Elder Kenny was, and I was like, well, he's not singing. Who is this? And it was just the simple scripture.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you wrote the song, but if you did, I'm giving you credit. If it's not,
Minister
thanks whoever gave.
Minister Joe Robertson. Shout out to the
Okay,
Robertson brothers.
okay.
That's who I heard singing that for years.
I heard you sing that. It was so simple. I can do all things through Christ. Do you not know?
Mm.
During the recent loss of my husband, that song
Wow.
is what kept me sanity, has kept my peace, and I use it almost every time I make a post. That is like my go-to scripture. My son, he's only 4. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. And I said, that you don't know, you know, people really don't know what you go through, but I'm saying this, hey, people take it how they want to take it. You are probably one of the only pastors. Now, outside of my church, my pastors, they check on me on the regular. But
Mm-hmm.
we talking about, Kelly, you've been in Milwaukee, you done grew up here, you're a praise and worship leader, you done did this, you're heavy in the community. I was shocked when I got your text. And you are probably one of the only pastors that have always been checking on me
Wow.
and my boys, my family, and so forth. And so to have you on this platform is not just to put you on here. It's like a note of thanks because you just don't know.
Wow.
Every time you send me a text, how that's why I say you got to give us some encouraging word because
Yeah.
I'm in ministry. I'm a leader. I understand that. But I'm also, like you said, we're broken. We're going through, we're grieving.
Yes.
And then I can do all things. And it'll be, because you ain't doing all of that. It
Mm-mm.
was just your
Real calm. I'm
simple,
gonna sing it in the morning.
it's just a simple verse
Yeah.
that you're doing to remind us who we are in Christ. So sometimes, Jaquel, I couldn't be on social media because it was too much. I couldn't answer the phones because it was just too much. And sometimes being all things through Christ that strengthens me was don't answer the phone. Don't go on social media.
Yep.
Don't pick up the newspaper. Don't watch the news. Don't do this. Sometimes that helped me.
Mm.
So uh, thank you, man of God. I thank you. I thank you.
Wow.
Because, I always say people they go back to their normal lives after 3 weeks. It's really probably like 2 days.
Well, you got
Let
3
me
weeks,
know.
so you doing way better than
let
me
me
because
know
it
whatever
was
you
it was
need
rough
and
for me.
everything those phone calls
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
But it's so much negativity. God, I need you to silence out the noise.
Yeah.
And you being a man of God in your position, can you encourage not only anyone that's watching on this podcast, but even our leaders,
Yeah.
our whether it's in the political arena, those of us that are in ministry, especially, there's a weight that can mentally weigh us down.
Yeah.
And you talk about the suicide, and you talk about how you overcame all of that. And I know it
Mm.
was with the help of God in your faith.
Absolutely.
But now you're talking about therapeutic measures. Close us out with some awesome strategic
It's
tools.
awesome.
Yeah, because I told you I normalize using therapy.
For the believer, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through
Yeah.
Christ. That's those words.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not careful, we try to do it through ourselves, and it's impossible.
Impossible.
Because Christ is the strength I have to do in my brokenness is through Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because Christ ultimately gives us I think that the greatest people are those that suffer the most.
Ooh.
Because now somebody's going to say, Kelly, how did you get through that? It was Jesus.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, now to the non-believer, get you a tribe. Get some accountability partners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, watch what you put in your body. Exercise. Go see a therapist. Really talk about what you've been through. Growing up in a black community, we all was told, what goes on in this house stays in this house. That's the worst advice in the history of advisement.
Okay.
If I even use that right.
It was good.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
I
In the
love
history of advisement, no, it was so much that should not have stayed in the home. I'm dealing with families now that the daughter,
trauma, yes.
the daughter had been molested by a granddad.
Yes.
And now the mama is like, oh, I told them I was too, but nobody believed me. And the same thing he did to me, he doing it to generational. Yes. So, and that's what people don't talk about. So now you broken. So I teach the teens every Sunday. This is year 3. Every Sunday, except the first Sunday, we have leadership training. From 9 to 10, I'm teaching the teens.
Oh, that's good.
Packed. They love it. I call them all my babies. Every scholarship, now mind you, my 2 daughters are on scholarship, full academic scholarship. Every grant that they got, all the teens have access to them same grants. Yeah. Because I said, hold on, God, if me and my wife can do it for my baby, these are all my babies. Mm-hmm. Now I can't let nobody else teach them. Because they're like, oh no, Pastor, you did it. Oh, we appreciate them, but no, we need you here. Mm-hmm. Parents started wanting to come to the sessions. The teens was like, hey. No, get your own.
Because they can be very transparent. And I remember that we did the trips with the camping trips.
So we go this year, June 19th through the 21st.
Oh my God.
This will be year 21. We had a big celebration last year. And we combined the boys and the girls. Let me say why I combined it. They combined at school.
Hello.
So let's get them together. But now sis, when I tell you I've grown a lot.
Because they're every Sunday, they're this, yeah.
But let's talk about how you feeling, these emotions, using pronouns now, and you can't say this, and I feel this way. No, let's get in the Word of God, but also have some real therapy. So now when we do our bonfires, we chopping it up. Man, I do feel this way. This is why. Hey, I need to talk to your mom or dad about that. Yeah. Let the parents know when I come to you, I'm a safe space.
Right.
Don't beat the kid in the ground. They feel comfortable to tell me this. So now we can work together to help your baby.
You just don't know.
Oh no, trust me, that's yeah. In 2009,
like we started sweating outside, putting the tent together. They don't know the story. How you had us coaches though? Oh yeah, you coaches run too. No, I'm tired.
Dude, I forgot you was a chaperone. Yes. So yeah, so we had some coaches. We had some we call them lead chaperones. We had some chaperones that came last year. Oh, they didn't sign up. They said, no, asked me. I'm chaperoning them, and I'm not doing. But I'm like, but with kids, if you can't do it, you ain't putting forth effort.
They're not.
Why you want me to?
In that trust.
And I'm still running the hill.
Yeah.
Only thing, yeah. Oh, we still running the hill. We still running the hill.
Well, I'll just be the chaperone at the evening therapeutic times. I will not be there always running up to you. I'll be like, yes,
you can do it.
I have faith in you.
I'm gonna drive this golf cart up the hill, and I'm gonna be the one when y'all get there. I'm gonna say, you did good. You did good. I'm praying for you. Here go your water. You made it.
You made it.
No, sis, thank you, man. Thank you. I'll tell anybody, man. I'm accessible. They can reach me on Instagram. Come to the ministry. We have so many men on our Zooms that
we need that.
Just chime in. We just talk about it literally, and it's not like just all Bible. It's real talk. I got a book coming out called Nobody Left Behind. Shameless plug. It started with
that's good.
It started with No Brother Left Behind, but then several of the guys called me with their significant others on the phone saying, man, my lady like, why in the morning at 5:30 you getting these random text messages? They thinking it's another female.
Oh.
So then they was like, let me see. They started reading my messages to their girls, to their girlfriends, they want their wives or whatever. And they like, can we start reading them as a family? Then it started with a women's thread where I had a bunch of women and I started sending it to them. So I had to change it from no brother left behind to nobody left
That's
behind.
awesome.
Yeah.
So you definitely got to let us know when your book is coming out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you have albums that have been out. I know you do more quartet.
And I have a new album just ready to go.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay.
No, I'm gonna see. I got some.
Oh my god,
I got some stuff. See, I'm giving you my this my ugly
ugly
stuff.
face.
I got some stuff. No, I got some. I got some.
Tea. Listen.
But thank you, and I love you.
You know, I love
and
you
I mean
more.
that.
I love you more. So, I want you to close us out with that song, if you would. I know it's. I put you on the spot.
Let me get some water.
But y'all have to understand, and this is how we're going to close out our session today. Normally, I would sing going out, but today I have my big brother from another mother. Shout out to Thelma Lock, who's still
Pretty Jean.
Pretty
Subs made with loves. Google
listen.
it. She make a mean sub.
She just told me that too. I just saw her a few weeks ago.
No,
and
my mama love making subs. Now people don't understand. Like my mama gonna go there if that bread ain't right. If she got her, she telling them bring me some fresh bread. I'm not giving my customer. She wanted them.
Oh,
your tomatoes gonna be ripe. Your lettuce ain't gonna be yellow. My mama's like she loves making subs.
I'm gonna have to reach because she did tell me. I saw her and when she embraced me.
Oh yeah.
I almost wanted to just fall over and cry. She was just like, Miss Callie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Miss Dad.
She'll be 75 in September.
First of all, she don't look it. She don't walk it. Okay.
And she know how to do the what's her name? Where them pants? Where them fans? Yes! She done learned the line dance.
Who done taught her? It wasn't you, I know.
No, lady at her church. Actually, she's a doctor. Shout out to Dr. Darlene Beck. I call her Good Notes because when she first joined several years, a lot of years ago, she took like
notes.
No, she took her notes is better than I preached. I'm mad. I didn't just say that. Where you get them from? No, think about that.
She wanted to articulate
her notes better than I preached. So the song is called it's real simple. Shout out to Joe Roberson. It simply says Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ. That strengthens me. Oh, strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Yeah. Strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ. I can do all things through Christ. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Oh, me.
Yes, sir.
Then the song says, if it's walking right.
Come on, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I can do it.
Oh.
I can do it.
Yes.
Even if it's talking right. Talking right. Ooh. I know that I can do it. I can do all things through Christ. Here we go. It strengthens me. Girl, you got to come on the Sunday. If your church lets you leave on the Sunday, just shoot me the text like, I'm gonna be in the building. I'll send it to the MD. Says thank you. This was amazing. This was to be honest. This was therapy for me today.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow! I'm almost there. I'm almost done. Oh, my, the masters.
Yeah,
I thank you.
yeah,
Like, people don't understand, like, um, and obviously we like you have growing pains, you have this and that,
yep,
and just to see how God has transformed you,
yeah,
has transformed me to a whole nother different level. And then you could look back and say, "Yep, I made these mistakes. I did this and that because I was broken. I was grieving. I was doing this." And now, like, it's all
yeah,
God. And
yeah,
I always say, people, there's a Kairos time of God, and He pushes us in those endeavors.
yes.
So first of all, you have to come back because you was busting people out on so many different levels.
But we just talking though. That's all. You see, I ain't have to wear no suit.
Yes, no,
I got my
feel
little joggers
comfortable.
on, my little American Eagle on sale, clearance. You better get your clearance
I'm
on.
telling you, when you have more
Yeah.
kids, you start noticing clearance records are absolutely amazing.
Oh, we go there first. I'm not here because of what's in the window.
No.
What's in the back?
Yes, those don't hand the gym.
Shoot.
Thank you all for joining us. Listen, Pastor Marlon Lock is absolutely amazing. His church, he's the senior pastor of Unity Gospel House of Prayer, where the motto is obey God and He'll bless you real good. And on that note, always remember, you will not give up. You will not commit suicide. You will not abort what God has predestined for you.
Yes.
You will continue to live in purpose and fulfill your purpose because that's what God has created you for, a purpose. I love you all. And until next time, you guys have an amazing day.
God bless you.